He pointed the gun at himself, all because of something his daughter blurted out.
Couldn't you just stay dead?
Isabel.
You're just mad because Mom would rather sleep with Uncle Tommy than you.
Isabel. Why would you say that?
Mom and Uncle Tommy have sex all the time.
Enough.
Sam instantly froze in his tracks. He never imagined that the home he risked his life to return to would feel so completely unfamiliar. A few months ago, he was deployed to Afghanistan. Knowing the dangers ahead, he gave a farewell letter to his commanding officer, asking him to pass it on to his wife if he didn't make it back. Shortly after, Sam left for Afghanistan, but the reality of war was incredibly brutal. During a mission, his helicopter was shot down, and tragically, everyone on board was killed. A few days later, 2 military officers showed up at her door. When they told her about her husband's fatal crash, she immediately froze in shock. Coming home late that night, Tommy had no idea what happened to his brother. Seeing his sister-in-law's silence and the tear stains on her face, he just assumed she was mad at him for coming home so late.
Sam's dead. He crashed.
What are you talking about?
He's dead, Tommy.
The moment Tommy found out, his mind went blank. He simply couldn't accept the reality.
Why'd you let him go over there, Grace?
Tommy.
For what now, huh?
But surprisingly, Sam wasn't actually dead. He and one of his men were taken prisoner and locked in a cellar. The enemy used photos of their families as leverage, trying to force them to talk. One day, they shoved a metal pipe into Sam's hands, ordering him to kill his comrade Paul himself. But how could he possibly do such a thing?
Pick it up.
تو فامیل داری؟
Your family.
ها؟ میخوای آنها رو باز ببینی؟
Do you want to see them here?
میخوای زنده بانی؟
Pick up the pipe! Kill him or I will kill you. Kill him! Kill him!
Torn between his brother in arms and his family back home, he made an agonizing choice and took the life of his fellow soldier. From that moment on, Sam was a changed man, often huddling in the corner, completely motionless. Later, rescue forces stormed the compound and saved a heavily battered Sam. Meanwhile, his brother Tommy had been stepping up for the family in his own way. He took great care of his 2 nieces and Grace. The kids grew fond of their uncle, but Grace couldn't let go of her husband. After all, he was the love of her life. As days went by, Tommy and Grace spent time together day and night, gradually developing a subtle connection. But whenever the thought of Sam crossed their minds, they immediately suppressed those feelings. They thought this peaceful life would just carry on, until Grace received a call from the military, informing her that Sam was still alive. Hearing the news brought up a whirlwind of mixed emotions for Grace. On the day he arrived at the airport, Grace and their 2 daughters rushed to give him a tight hug. This miraculous reunion felt like a gift from above, but for Tommy standing nearby, it felt like his heart was being ripped apart. Back home, Sam lay in his long-lost bed, cuddling with his wife and daughters. It should have been the happiest moment of his life, but flashes of the soldier he killed kept haunting him, and the painful memories nearly swallowed him whole. He had to force a smile in front of his family, but deep down he knew he wasn't the same Sam anymore. He thought things would slowly get better, but nothing improved the way they hoped. It was their youngest daughter's birthday, and the whole family gathered to celebrate. Tommy even brought his new girlfriend over. The little girl received a bunch of gifts and started showing off her toys to her older sister. When the older sister wanted to play with them, the younger one refused to share, sparking a fight. Their parents kept siding with the younger sister, which was hard for the older girl to accept, so she began to complain.
Maggie gets everything. She got the best doll.
It's her birthday, honey.
I didn't get anything that I wanted on my birthday. And you were in stupid Afghanistan.
The tension at the table reached a breaking point, but Tommy's chatty girlfriend was completely oblivious to the older daughter. Feeling ignored, the older girl was on the edge of a meltdown. She pulled down a balloon from the ceiling and popped it to make some noise and get attention. This sent an already on-edge Sam into a total rage.
Couldn't you just stay dead?
Isabel.
You're just mad because Mom would rather sleep with Uncle Tommy than you.
Isabel. Why would you say that?
Mom and Uncle Tommy have sex all the time.
Enough.
After returning home, Grace asked her older daughter why she would say such made-up things at the dinner table. Choking back tears, her daughter said she hated this new version of her dad and wished Uncle Tommy was the one with them instead. Holding back her own heartache, Grace promised her girls that their dad would slowly get better. Sam stood alone in the yard, scanning his surroundings with a hyper-vigilant glare. Watching him through the window, Grace realized that danger was looming, so she hurriedly called her mother-in-law for help. At the same time, Tommy was driving over to his brother's to clear the air. together and explain things face to face. His father tried to stop him, but it was no use. After getting Grace's call, her mother-in-law's face grew serious, and she immediately called the police. Just then, Sam walked back into the house looking eerily calm. He sat on the couch without moving a muscle, wearing a terrifyingly cold expression. His wife wanted to step closer to comfort him, but had no idea what to say.
What am I supposed to do now, Grace?
Grace opened her mouth but couldn't get the words out. She was afraid that anything she said would act as another dagger plunging right into her husband's heart. But deep within that deafening silence, the last string holding Sam together finally snapped. He couldn't hold it back anymore, grabbing a metal pipe and storming into the kitchen.
You know what I did to get back to you?
No.
You know what I did? To fucking get back to you! You fucking bitch! You know what I fucking suffered? He fucking suffered because of you! And what have you done to my fucking house? And my fucking kids, Grace? You're fucking my brother! You're fucking my brother in my fucking house!
Please.
I love you, Grace!
Please, our girls, please.
You know how much I love you! You know what Grace, do you know what I fucking... You know what I can do with these fucking hands, Grace? You fuck!
Right then, Tommy burst through the door. Sam suddenly stopped in his tracks, regaining a brief moment of sanity. Tommy slowly stepped forward, pulling him into a tight embrace. At that moment, everyone thought the storm had finally passed, but the sound of police sirens in the distance shattered the brief tranquility. Sam violently pushed Tommy away, pulling a gun from his waistband and pointing it right at him. Tommy threw his hands up, his voice trembling as he told his brother he didn't call the cops. Before he could even finish his sentence, the police cars had already pulled up outside. Sam stepped outside, gun in hand. Seeing the weapon, the police instantly escalated to high alert. Tommy and Grace rushed out right behind him, desperately trying to de-escalate the situation. The officers across the yard raised their weapons, barking orders for Sam to drop the gun immediately.
You gonna shoot me? Ah! Sam, fucking shoot me! Fucking come on!
Jesus, shut the fuck up! This is a family matter! Shut up! Shut up! He's my brother! Just stop for a second! Just let me talk to him! He's my brother! You are my brother!
Sam, look at me for a second. You're my brother. You're my family. You hear me?
Sam!
He turned to look at Grace, his eyes filled with absolute desperation and struggle. The two brothers locked eyes. After a few seconds of heavy silence, Sam tossed the gun to the ground.
I'm drowning, Tommy.
Several officers rushed in to pin him down and slap the handcuffs on him. Watching Sam completely break down, Grace couldn't stop her tears from flowing, crying so hard she could barely speak. Tommy stood completely frozen, helplessly watching the cops take his brother away in the squad car. The next day, Grace hurried to where Sam was being held. She knew in her heart that her husband was torturing himself over some hidden, unspeakable trauma. Finally, after Grace pressed him and practically begged for the truth, Sam's long, sealed lips slowly began to open. Sam finally revealed his secret.
I killed him. I killed Joe Willis.
Shaking Grace to her absolute core once again. It turned out that the hero she had been waiting for had to tear his own soul apart just to make it back to her. Inside her once unbreakable husband lived a prisoner still kneeling at an execution site, forever unable to forgive himself.
I don't know who said, only the dead have seen the end of war. I have seen the end of war. The question is, can I live again?